I'd like to just share with you a little bit of the story of the Bramha kumaris, and we'll see in front of us a story through slides. The source of peace. We all want to have peace on earth, and the desire is that we should make a positive contribution. And in fact, it's not governments, it's not the UN who can make it, but you and I who can make it happen. But the source of peace, of course, is the one up above, that point of light, the source of light, of love. And in 1936, this human being, Bramha Baba, was inspired, and you see his photograph here, and gathered around him a group of young women, some with young men, but mostly women. I wonder if you recognize Daddy there. She's there within them. And 2 women became the administrative heads of the organization from 1969 onwards to lead us on further to create a little village of peace. And in a place high up in the mountains of Aravalli, a place we call Madhuban, the land of honey, the forest of honey. We have a place where truly you can experience peace on earth. I think those of you who haven't yet been on this pilgrimage are most warmly invited to be there to join us and be there at the Tower of Peace that honors the life and times of the founder, Bramha Baba. And not just peace in a little village, but it grew further to become a place where peace extended, and people from over 120 countries now come to the village of Salgaon, where we have our Academy for a Better World at the Gyan Srovar complex. And again here, people from many different professional backgrounds come to see how to apply peace within their own lives. We run many different programs for peace, whether it's launching of books, whether it's exhibitions, whether it's different activities on an individual scale or on a larger scale. So many different things happen through which people can discover the peace that is there within and be able to be instruments of peace in whichever way it is they can be. What you're seeing here is just a tiny glimpse of different activities that happen here in this house, but also across the world. There have been projects of peace happening in over all the different continents. And one of the main things that happened that I think some of you participated in with us many years ago was a project called Million Minutes of Peace Appeal. And it asked for a very special type of donation. And would you believe it? It was donation of that which is most precious, your time. Just give a minute of your thoughts for peace, and that will definitely begin the process of bringing peace in the world. And so we see how from the individual we move forward within the community, and the progress of peace happens. And so across the world, in absolutely every single corner, except I was just thinking the Arctic and the Antarctic. I think we haven't quite reached there yet. But behind the bamboo curtain, yes, there's activities there too. And definitely, certainly, the Iron Curtain came down many years ago. And so in that part of the world also. But how does peace happen in terms of activity and in work? Well, I think that many of you who are here have been involved in a lot of social service and humanitarian activities that have been motivated through that feeling of peace within. And so whether it's working for the tsunami victims or whether it's helping the victims of the earthquake in Bhuj or just recently in Orissa. So there's been a lot of outreach activity through these various things, but also an ongoing service to the community. Mount Abu is within an area that's not very privileged in India, and the Global Hospital serves the local community, visitors from across the world, but also an outreach program for the villages around. But peace is also something very joyful. Peace is something also very playful. So whether it's Dadi writing a message of peace and sharing her thoughts and adding to, as you see, a whole blackboard of scenario. And this was actually in Barcelona, where they had the World Parliament of Religions, and we had a big board on display where different people wrote their messages of peace. And so peace is fun. Peace isn't just a serious thing, but peace within, yes, reflected in my life, reflected in my work, but also reflected in play. There are many peaceful people around the world, people who have given their life and their commitment and their dedication for peace. And so our work has been one of collaboration, of cooperation, of working together with people from many different faith traditions and backgrounds, working with people from across the world to help people come to that very simple understanding that peace doesn't begin out there, but peace begins right here with me. And when I take up that responsibility, yes, then I too can be an instrument for this. And so across the world today now, I think absolutely, as I said, every single corner you'll find a little center or a big center, little or small, but where people come back to that awareness of the point of peace.